At the start of this season, the narrative surrounding the Lakers seemed to follow the same pattern as the previous year. Distrust, criticism, and a constant feeling that structural problems would continue to hinder the team. There was a list of issues that seemed impossible to solve, from defensive flaws to a lack of consistency on offense to moments of disorganization during rotations. However, something began to change, and the transformation did not come from a single move or specific player. It emerged from a combination of tactical adjustments, a more disciplined posture, and a collective focus that reoriented how the team viewed its own identity. Even facing games without key players, the team began to demonstrate competitive maturity. Players who were previously seen only as complementary began to have real importance within the system. With this, the team stopped merely reacting to opponents and began to control rhythms, impose styles, and build victories with consistency. This evolution was not abrupt, but it became clear as the team began to respond calmly to situations that previously generated emotional and tactical instability. The transition defense, historically one of the team's weakest points, was one of the first areas to show real growth. In previous seasons, it was common to see opponents easily exploiting the fast break, taking advantage of communication failures and slow defensive returns. The impact of this was profound. Opposing runs became constant, the rhythm was lost, and confidence fluctuated rapidly. This season, the scenario has changed. The team has become better organized after mistakes and missed shots. Players position themselves more consciously, and communication has become visible. Players are guiding each other, indicating markings, warning about coverage, and adjusting alignments. This type of detail appears not only in statistics, but also in the way the opponent loses space for fast breaks. The transition game has ceased to be a point of weakness and has become controlled in a mature way, which allows the team to dictate the pace of the game, avoiding fluctuations and maintaining control of the game even in pressure scenarios. Another important aspect of the defensive evolution was the ability to actively create turnovers, something the team hadn't done efficiently before. In past seasons, the defense was able to contest shots, but rarely generated errors that translated into offensive advantages. Now, the approach is different. The team pressures the ball more intensely, attacks passing lanes, and forces uncomfortable decisions from opponents. When an error is generated, the offensive transition is immediate, and the team converts steals into quick points, often without allowing the opposing defense to reorganize. This dynamic completely changes the game scenario, as it reduces the dependence on half-court plays and allows the offense to flow from the defense. This also creates moments of emotional impact in which positive sequences energize the group and destabilize opponents. This change is not only technical but structural. It indicates that the defense has come to be understood not only as a prevention of points, but as a generator of direct offensive opportunities. When analyzing the offense, one of the biggest evolutions is in the aggressiveness near the paint. In previous seasons, the team often relied on difficult shots, long periods without penetration, and little consistent pressure in the paint. These choices not only made the offense predictable, but also limited the ability to control the pace and create high-efficiency plays. Now, the offense prioritizes movement toward the rim. Off-ball cuts, side screens, play between the center and point guard, and coordinated drives have become part of the offensive foundation. In addition, players execute actions with greater purpose, avoiding long possessions that result in improvised shots. The team finds safe spots in critical moments, something essential in close games. The paint has become a zone of buildup, not just finishing. When the opposing defense needs to protect this area, it opens up space for movement around the perimeter, allowing for a more dynamic and fluid offense. Roster depth has also become a fundamental strategic tool. In previous seasons, when the main stars left the court, the level of intensity and efficiency plummeted, creating sequences in which the opponent quickly recovered or extended their lead. Now, the rotation is composed of players who perform well-defined functions. There are players who come in to reinforce the defense, others to space the floor, others to generate immediate points, and some capable of controlling the pace. This structure keeps the team's competitive level consistent throughout the 48 minutes. The bench players don't just come in to rest the starters, but to maintain a consistent style of play, with intensity, discipline, and good game reading. This depth allows the team to adapt formations according to the opponent and the moment of the game, offering indispensable strategic flexibility in high-level matches. However, there are aspects that still need development. Long-range shooting continues to be an area of fluctuation. The team often has difficulty converting three-pointers consistently, which generates offensive sequences where the attack loses fluidity. This point becomes even more evident when opposing defenses close the paint and force the team to shoot under outside pressure. The solution is not just to increase the number of attempts, but to ensure that the shots come from situations created with quality: ball movement, extra passes, active transition, and correct spacing. Improving outside shooting efficiency can raise the offense to an even more difficult level to defend against, creating a balance between drives, post-ups, and inside finishes. When you look at the big picture, it's clear that the team has built a solid foundation to compete seriously throughout the season. The evolution isn't just in the numbers, but in how the team behaves emotionally on the court. The attitude is more mature, the decisions are more calculated, and the response to adversity is controlled. In close games, the team demonstrates patience, seeks the best play, and avoids emotional breakdowns that previously determined frustrating defeats. Building this mentality is one of the biggest indicators of real growth, because teams competing for positions depend not only on talent, but also on discipline, resilience, and clarity of identity. At the same time, the gradual return of important players tends to further strengthen the system. With a more complete roster, the team will be able to test additional rotations, increase defensive pressure, and further exploit offensive mismatch situations. The players who currently occupy the central role can adjust their minutes to maintain physical intensity throughout the season, which reduces the risks of fatigue and injuries. The team can build not only immediate results, but competitive sustainability throughout the entire campaign. Given this perspective, the big question becomes how the team's timing will evolve from here. The foundation is built, but development cannot stagnate. It will be crucial to continue adjusting spacing, reinforcing defensive communication, and increasing efficiency outside the defense. The team needs to maintain its focus on continuous development, understanding that a season is not a sprint, but a process of constant refinement. Now, leave your comments. What was the biggest evolution you noticed in this team? And what aspect still needs improvement for the team's timing to reach its maximum level this season?